Ms. Del Greco, in 2017, the Government Accountability Office testified before our committee that the FBI had signed contracts with at least 16 states to be able to request searches of their photo databases. GAO stated that most of these systems access driver's license photos, but several states also include mugshots or corrections photos. Mr. Greco, can you explain how the FBI decides to search a state database versus when it searches its own system, and how this policy is determined?
I'd be happy to explain that. At the FBI, we have a service called Face Services Unit. They process background checks and process facial recognition searches of the state DMV photos. They do this in accordance with the Attorney General guidelines. An FBI field office has to have an open assessment or an active investigation. They submit the probe photo to the FBI Face Services Unit. We launch the search to the state. The state runs the search for the FBI and provides a candidate list back. With regard to the NGI IPS, the Interstate Photo System, the Face Services Unit will utilize that repository as well as the DMV photos. However, state and local and federal law enforcement agencies only have access to the NGI Interstate Photo System. These are the FBI mugshots that are associated with a 10-print criminal card associated with a criminal arrest record.
Well, do individuals who consent to having their faces in the non-criminal databases also consent to having their faces searched by the FBI for criminal investigations? For example, when applying for a driver's license, does someone consent at the DMV to being in a database searchable by the FBI?
The FBI worked diligently with the state representatives in each of the states that we have MOUs. Mm-hmm. We did so under the state's authority to allow photos to be used for criminal investigations. We also abided by the Federal Driver's License Privacy Protection Act, and we consider that a very important process for us to access those photos to assist the state and local law enforcement and our federal agencies.
Well, you just said state authority allows you to do this. One question that our ranking member has been asking over and over again is, do you know whether in these states do any elected officials have anything to do with these decisions? In other words, where is that authority coming from? And we're trying to figure out, with something affecting so many citizens, whether elected officials have anything to do with it. Do you know?
I do. Only in one state, the state of Illinois, did an elected official sign the MOU. In the other states, they were done so with the state representatives. This is state law that's established at the state level prior to facial recognition and our program getting started. We're just leveraging that state law. That state law is already in place. We did work with the Office of General Counsel at the FBI and the attorney level at the state level.
Well, if it was prior to facial recognition coming into existence, I'm just wondering, do you think that whatever laws you're referring to anticipated something like facial recognition?
It's my understanding that the states established those laws because of fraud and abuse of driver's license. And we are just reviewing each of the state laws and working with the representatives in those states to ensure that we can leverage that again for criminal investigation.
And so when you say leverage, I guess you're saying that there were laws that were out there, these laws did not anticipate something like facial recognition, and now the FBI has decided that it would basically take advantage of those laws. Is that right? Is that a fair statement?
The federal Driver's License Privacy Protection Act, it allows the state to disclose personal information, and including a photo or an image obtained in connection with a motor vehicle record, to law enforcement to carry out its official function.
All right, let me
for
just
criminal.
have a few more questions. We have seen significant concern among certain states about providing this level of access to the FBI. For example, during our May 22nd hearing, we learned that Vermont suspended the FBI's use of its driver's license database in 2017. Is that correct?
I'm not aware of that, sir.
Well, it is accurate. Ms. Del Greco, how many states have provided this level of direct access to the FBI?
We do not have direct access. We submit a probe to the state. There's 21 states.
21 states, okay.
And what we did, sir, in the last 2 years since the last oversight hearing, our Office of General Counsel reviewed every single MOU to ensure that it met the federal and the state authorities.
Does the FBI have plans to increase the number of states that provide the FBI with access to its databases?
That would be up to the state, sir. We have reached out to all the states, but it's up to them and their state authorities and state representatives if they want their data used. It's optional for them.
When states agree to provide this level of access to the FBI database, are they aware of the FBI policies? Are they aware of the policies when searching their systems and any changes that are made to these policies?
It is made extremely clear to each of the states how the information will be used, the retention. We purge all photos coming back to us from the state. We ask that the state purge all of the probe photos that we send them.
And
How
do you make them aware?
We have active discussions, and then it's in the MOU, sir.
Is the FBI undergoing any current negotiations to expand the information available for FBI face services, photo searches? And if so, can you please describe these negotiations?
I'm not aware of any current negotiations right now, sir.
Now, finally, we also heard reports that the FBI can search photo databases of other agencies, including the Department of State. Are there any limits to this access?
The searches of the State Department's photo are in accordance with an active FBI investigation and are only done so under the Attorney General guidelines followed by the FBI.
And can the FBI perform a face recognition search for any American with a passport?
For an open assessment or an active investigation only by the FBI, sir.
All right. I now recognize Mr. Gosar.